that his brother will listen to Christ. Although it was not clear who was the one complaining, the younger brother or the older brother. But obviously it should be the younger one because he was asking for inheritance. Why did I say that? Because in the Jewish culture, the firstborn always get the inheritance. The second one might not get as much as the older one. And since he was trying to ask for the inheritance, probably the one who is in wrong could be the other one who obviously wanted all for himself. And then he wants a share. Or probably he's not contented with his share. He wants an even share, so he wants more from his brother's share. So that is the basic situation there. No matter what situation that will be, it tells us that this person who comes to Jesus Christ wants more money, wants more property, wants more wealth. Okay? When I was a lot younger, I thought that having riches, having material wealth is wrong, is evil. But I misunderstood the Bible because the Bible never teaches us that wealth is wrong, that wealth is evil. However, the Bible tells us that the greed for wealth is wrong. Obviously, if you look at all these passages in 1 Timothy 3:3, 1 Timothy 6:10, and Hebrews 13:5, if you have your Bibles, you look into that. All of these tell us that it's not money that is the root of all evil, but rather it's the love of money that makes it the root of all evil. So guys, don't be guilty if you feel that you are blessed with a lot of material things. It's not wrong. It's a blessing. But blessing does not only comes in terms of material possession. So don't be too anxious to have more of it. The only problem with material things is that when you have more, people wanted more. Okay? I remember one person says that, if I reach by the age of 19 years old and I get my first million, I will be very satisfied and will just rest. But you know what? He got his first million when he was 18 years old. And then he planned to have more millions in the next 10 to 15 years. He says, because I'm young, I'm capable, I can still get more. So it's actually not the money itself that is evil, but rather it's the greed. Wanting more money, no matter what, makes it evil. You see, the problem about that is that when you focus too much on money, you tend to forget about everything else. One person, when I was a lot younger, they show us an example. They had me standing in a stage like this. Ulok Ayato, I was standing there. And then he was asking me, can you see anything? I said, yes, I can see everything. And then you know what he did? He took a 1 peso coin and he placed it in front of me. And he asked me, what can you see? What do you think I can see? The 1 peso. And I forget about everything else. You see, that's a problem. A lot of us, when we started to earn money, we tend to focus so much on money. But in reality, money is worth nothing unless you give it away. Tama ba? You spend a lot and you accumulate money, what will happen? You stay there and nothing will happen. You need to give it away to exchange for something else. So it sounds very crazy, no? You spend a lot of time just to earn the money, and then the only way to be satisfied is you have to give it away in order to enjoy it. No? Money is temporal. Money, well, like I said, it's not evil. Because unless you have money, some people tend to do evil things in order to get money. Diba? But you have to understand one important principle. God is so wonderful and amazing. And He made it in such a way that even though money is important, the most important things in this world do not need money to get it. Let me give you an example. Money can get you the best car in this world. Tama ba? But money cannot buy the comfort of riding. Money can buy the best food that you'll ever find. Lechon ba na? Spring chicken ba na? You know, uso ba rin sa Dumaguete sa press, no? Press bistros. Yung spring chicken, yung murag sa pati ka dako. Tastes good. Can buy all the best food that you like, but money can never purchase appetite. I've seen people who has a lot of good food in front of him and was like staring at them. Kalami-ani, tao. So, kinsa ang luoy? Ang nakapalit o ang nakakaon? Money can buy the best home or the best house that you'll ever find, but not a good home. Money cannot buy that. Money can afford you the best doctor, the best medicine, but money cannot buy you health. You know, I've been doing gym before, obviously. And I was so discouraged because I see a lot of trainer, good physique, no? Naka six-pack, you know. Ako naman ko is packs, no? But hindi pack with S, one pack lang sa ako, okay? But beneath that, may six packs, gitapon lang ako, okay? They have good physique, and yet what happened? Guba ang kidney. So what's the use, di ba? Guwapo ang fasad, daot ang sulod. Cannot buy health. And they have been doing everything under the book to get healthy. And yet, may sakit. Where did it come from? People don't know. You know, people say it's a chamba or whatever. The thing is this. Health, peace, harmony, happiness, these are the things that money cannot buy. And these are the things that we cannot afford not to have. I've seen people who are so rich, filthy rich, but are not happy. Do not have privacy. You just imagine anywhere he goes, dapat na ay bodyguard o ubad-ubad. Kalain mo na, no? If I want to go to the mall, I need to have bodyguard along with me. And when people wanted to come to meet you, dili pwede. No? Dili kayo ganahan si Mayor Duterte nga na bodyguard. Kailan yun ang feeling niya. Na-isolated siya sa tao. And he's a very personal person. Sa Davao, okay lang man, nakadrive man siya taxi. Gabi. He did that. Nasa siya yung isa ka taxi, no? He's driving around. Sometimes, si Mayor already. But, you know, because he wanted the personal relationship. You know, I've seen people, I've seen friends who comes from a very, very rich family, and they seem to have no liberty to just go wherever they wanted to go. And they're afraid to get out at night when I can always go out anywhere, anytime. Few weeks back, 2 o'clock in the morning, I have to get out from the house when my wife's still sleeping. And I have to go to the drugstore to buy some anti-allergy. Atake ko allergy. Pagkawas ako, higit na, wala na yung tao. Walk down the street, quite isolated. But I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid of kidnappers. I'm not afraid of why? Kaya kung mag-kidnap siya sa kwan, lukoy kayo sila, wala sila makuha. I have the liberty. I was thinking, wow, kung rich ang tao nga, dagkapag-iala, tawag na tao ubanin ko, or masubog lain, kaya din sa kagawas, and things like that, niya, paabot dito sa, siguro sa drugstore, mamaling magpapalit sa drugs, and things like that. Money can get you a lot of things. But the most important thing in this world, money cannot buy. Things that are necessary, things that are important, things that you need for survival, the Lord gave it to us free. Money can buy anything, but money cannot buy air. Just imagine, every moment you smell, dapat ay bayad, suki na. Mamatay ka kung wala kay kwarta. These are some of the things that the Lord has given us. Telling us at the right perspective, money is important, but it's not the most important thing in this world. So you might say, ako na Pastor, is it wrong to be rich? No, it's not. It's not. So when I'm not rich, am I being cursed? No, it's not. You're not being cursed. Di nila siya tinuod when people say that if you belong to Christ, you're supposed to be rich. That's wrong. Okay? That's wrong. That's what we call prosperity gospel. The Bible never taught us that. Because when God bless us, it is not only material blessings. When God bless us, the most important thing are the peace, which the Lord Jesus Christ said, peace I give to you, my peace I give unto you, not like the world that can give, that I give to you. The blessing that the Lord has given us is not just material, it's more than that. And those things that the Lord gives us, the world cannot give. Those are the blessings that we have to be clear to consider. So when people say, I got the blessing, don't think na money na naabot. Don't think na material things na naabot. Really. You have to understand that. Okay? Secondly, here in this parable, Jesus Christ talked about a rich man. Many people after reading the parable would say, bugo any rich man. He's a very poor guy. He is a very, bad businessman. But in fairness, at the perspective of the world, this guy is a very intelligent, diligent, good businessman. Not only that, he's responsible. Okay, if you read the Bible again, you see that this rich man was described as prosperous, right? He has a good harvest. You have to understand, first of all, that in Israel, one of the factors that is very important there's not enough water. There's always lacking in water supply. So to have a harvest that is bountiful tells us either this guy is super lucky or this guy is super genius. Okay? The last time I went to Israel was 2010 or 11. And we found out that because of the scarcity of water, they developed a technology so important for irrigation. So you know that their plants, lagi na siya itubo nga, mas dako-dako ka may ani, ginatuyok na per plant, And they calculated how much moisture that plant will need to grow. And at a certain time of the day, i-abli nilang irrigation, gawas ang tubig, and then stop tayo. Sayang kayo ang tubig. The only source of water they have, fresh water, is the Sea of Galilee in Israel. Everything goes to that. From Mount Hermon, it flows to Sea of Galilee. That's the only reservoir of fresh water. And from Sea of Galilee, it goes down to Jordan River, going to Dead Sea na lang. Dead Sea water they cannot use. Jordan River is so dirty. Mura na siya basta brown na ang tubig, hindi na siya bluish. Kung bluish man na kayo makita na yung mga floating submarine, namay mga pandya, namay mga otter ba na? Ano? So na yung mga animals also swimming there and things like that. Anyway, so water is very scarce. When we were there, the tour guide kept on saying to us, now you pray to the Lord for water because they know that we are Christians who are going there for pilgrimage. Pray that Lord will bless Israel with water and peace. Those are the two things that they keep on asking. Because during that time, the Sea of Galilee, the level of the water is going down. E mora na ang fresh water nila na gamit sa supply nila. Okay? So water is scarce. And this guy, in the parable, he's a person who was able to produce plenty of crops. Telling us that it took a lot of diligence, maayo siya do sa iyang, duty and things like that, in order to produce that harvest. And secondly, we see this guy to be filthy rich, not only in terms of property, but he also has lots of money because anytime he says, I will tear down my barn and build a bigger one. Nobody can just say that. Can anybody of you say that because there's a lot of stocks coming in, gubaon na ako ang bodega, kambyo na ako bakula, mas dako. You can't say that. Unless you have a lot of money to build. Right? So this guy is very rich. This guy is very, very intelligent. And this guy did a lot in terms of his part in producing such great harvest. But he forgot one thing. It was not out of his wisdom and skills that gave him that harvest. It was God. You know, guys, even now, I've seen a lot of people, good businessmen, very strategic businessmen, build their business places with a very good, attractive, stores, and yet, dilangaw. Nobody goes in. Nobody buys. You know why? Because unless God bring customers to your businesses, you will not prosper. You will never have even a single customer going into your business. You have to understand that. You might think that you're very good in sales talk, but unless the Lord change the heart of the customer and tell him to buy things from you, you have nothing. So don't think that you are very skillful, don't think that you're very good in doing business, because what you have earned, what you have today, is totally a blessing from the Lord. Therefore, the second principle I want to share with you is that more wealth means more responsibility. Why does God give you a lot of material wealth? Is it to spoil you? No. Is it to give you the right and license to spend more? No. The main reason He gave you a lot of material blessings is because He trusts that you are able to channel that to His ministry, to channel that to a better result for His glory. So don't think that you become rich because you're good at it, because God has been so good to you, and you have the right to buy a very expensive, more than 100,000 pesos watch, just for your enjoyment. What is the difference between a 100,000 pesos watch and a watch gikan sa Cang and I did with chewing gum? Siguro, under to 100,000 peso watch. What I'm trying to say is watch our watch, right? Tama ba? The only thing about those very expensive, several thousand pesos watch is that those people are like, want to do this. Uday, tanawa ko pala. Bragging rights. Some collect so many of them. For what? Investment down. Fine. Okay. We'll talk about that later. The blessings and material possession that the Lord has given you is given you for a purpose. The only difference is that you belong to Him. He would rather give you the blessing that He will give the blessing to the drug lords. Because the drug lords obviously will use it for evil. It's time for Christian rich people to use the money that the Lord has given you for His glory. That's why Jesus Christ said to His disciples, seek God's kingdom. When He gave you that material things, it is not to support whatever you need in terms of food, clothes, and everything. Because He told us already, you don't have to worry about those things. Even the birds who do not store or strive are fed. Tama ba? And you're more important than the birds, obviously. If He can feed those birds and He can make those flowers so beautiful, since you're more important, syempre naman, you'll be more beautiful and more fed. That's why for me, I do not worry about this big tummy a lot. Because sometimes it is a testimony that God did not abandon me. Telling you that I'm well fed by the Lord. Pero it's not an alibay, it's not an alibay to live a wasteful life. I still do some exercise. Kaya lang, ang physique lang ako, ilala lang yun. May balagan nyo, punta ng mga Cang. No? Mga chong. Diba? Okay. So you know what I mean. But I'm trying my best to get more fit, no? Not obviously like Arnold Schwarzenegger, but fit lang, no? Healthy and fit. And one of the ways to be more healthy is not just the physique. The core is your spirit. Because you cannot separate your spirit from your physical body. Because we are one whole person, no? Hindi na siya pwede separate. If you want to be healthy both outward and inward. Okay? Now, when God gives you more, not just material things, like I said, blessing doesn't come in terms of material things only. Maybe you do not have all the material wealth, but God has been blessing you with a lot of children. Or God has been blessing you with a lot of friends. These are blessings that the Lord has bestowed upon you. And it is your responsibility on how you should handle those blessings. Those blessings are not given to you for you to squander. Those blessings are given to you so that you can channel it to others. You know, if you remember Abraham, the Lord says, I will bless you with children so numerous that they cannot be counted, like the stars in heaven and the sun in the seashore. Tama? This is the first part of the blessing. But there is a second part. I bless you so that you, in return, will bless others. So that nations will be blessed through you. The main reason God gave you a lot of blessings is so that you should be a channel of blessing to others. How are you being a blessing to others right now? With all the blessings that the Lord has given you. Probably you might say, wala mang po yung blessing because you know, well, the fact that you can see, the fact that you are alive, the fact that you are healthy enough to walk, that's already a big blessing. You know that? You know that some people just cannot see although they want to see? Some of the council members just realized that yesterday that dahil hindi kaya hindi kita. Some of the council members also realized yesterday that there are things that they wanted to do but they are limited. They cannot do it. Labi na kung amang ka, may na kayong kita ka na, niya gusto yung doon, hindi mo mabuhat, hindi mo communicate. The point is, the main reason you're still alive today, the main reason that you're still here today, that means you're able to come, is already a blessing from the Lord. Tama ba? Because there are certain people who wanted to be here, but cannot. And how they wish that they are here, but they just cannot be here. But I'm not saying that they're not blessed because they could be blessed in some other way. But the point is, if you are blessed by God, use that blessing and make yourself as a channel to others. That also has something to do with your heart and your generosity. The church needs everybody. Some should give their talent. Some should give their wisdom. Some should give their material blessing as well. Depends on what God has given you. You should channel it for His glory. Like the Ginoo, when He gives you a blessing, He expects you to make use of it for something that will glorify Him. Because when He comes again, He will put everything into account. So you have paigintuanan. It's very clear in the Bible. He gave the parable of the talents. What happened? The person who received 5 talents, he is asking for results. The 5 talent gave 5 talents. And he said, good and faithful servant. The 2 talents give 2 talents. He did not require the same amount, but the same percentage. 2 talents. The 1 talent did not do anything. Although, in fairness, he did not squander it. He just buried it. Dormant. Wala siyang gibuhat. And he was called a wicked servant. You, as followers of Christ, obviously, God has been blessing you in different ways. At the end of the day, when you meet Him, are you ready to give an account to Him regarding those blessings that He has given you? And what have you done with those blessings? What will be the response of your Lord to you when you meet Him? Is it good and faithful servants? Or is it you, wicked servant? It all depends on how you utilize the blessing that He has given you. I'm not just talking about material wealth here. I'm talking about all the different kinds of blessing that the Lord has given you. No matter what it is. The good thing about the church is that it accommodates everything. If you're good with talents in music, you have a choir, you have the worship. If you're good in arts, you can just approach Pastor Thomas. He can always tell you, we can help in designing some of the things. There are many things that you can help in the church. Because the church is the body of Christ. That means all of us here. We're part of the church. It's not this building. It's the people. So if you're the part of the body of Christ, you are not visitors here. You're part of the family. And when you're a part of the family, you're part of the service in this full family. You should not be just coming expecting people to serve you, but rather you come expecting to contribute because you're a family. Tama ba? I don't know if you have the same tradition as our family, because every time of Christmas and New Year, since my mom, ever since, she was, she's very good in cooking. So somehow we inherit a little bit of her cooking abilities. Kaya siya rin ko inherit kasi tanaw, kaon. So, naging kayo idea ba kung saan naging. So my younger brother likes to cook, I like to cook, my sister likes to cook. So we, kind of sampled na, okay, Christmas Eve, let's come together, let's plak na lang, no? We cook one dish and then we contribute. So all of us contribute, different style, different food. Enjoy galing and we seem to have enjoying in a different, because we're part of the family, so we contribute. Even the children of my sister contribute with. We want to cook food para partly sa family contribute. Nala. So if you're all part of the family, you want to contribute. You contribute your ability, you contribute your gift, you contribute your blessing. You don't need people to keep telling, "Hey, come and join the park. Hey, come and do this. Hey, come and do that." No. If you think that you are part of this family, you should take the initiative and say, "Hey, I might be able to help in this area." Because the pastor and the leaders do not know what you have. They do not know what blessings and abilities that you have. So you need to come and help. I've seen all your ads here saying that be involved. Yes, you need to get involved. Unless you think that this is not your family, then fine, you don't need to get involved. But since this is the family, get involved. You are part of it, you contribute. Okay? Thirdly and lastly, of course, if you have wealth, you want to invest. Tama ba? I know that businessmen are very good when it comes to investment. Recently in Davao, we have a series of earthquakes and it affects the business community. Particularly one contractor there na pag-earthquake mo, a series of 3 different earthquakes. Niya ang property man nga medyo daghan guba. Gikan din sa kanang contractor developer atong pangalan ni Gawas. So obviously some of his projects na wala na damage, people started to go away. Hawa kay hadlok kay contractor track record doing that. So it really put the business down. Investment. We look at investment, we see, when we want to invest, we see certain things. Recently in Asia, Hong Kong was a hot spot because of the problem. And obviously, some of the businessmen doesn't want to invest in Hong Kong and wants to go somewhere else. We do not invest in something that is risky and we know that will not last. So the question right now, where do you invest your abilities? Where do you invest your blessing? In something that is temporal or something that is eternal? Jesus Christ said, invest in the heavenly realms. Why? Because moth and thieves do not grow and do not destroy. It will last for eternity. The main reason this rich person was a fool when God called him a fool is because, not because his ability to earn things, but because how he responded to the blessing that he received. Although in the eyes of the world, he was a very wise and intelligent person. Because some people are even more foolish than this fool in the Bible. Because I've seen them myself. I've seen people who spend all their lives earning money, putting their body, sweat, and blood in their business, and earning tons and tons and millions, and never able to enjoy the money that they earn. I've seen people like that. And I'm sure you know there are people like that. Diba? So we call these people big supporter, big lovers of doctors. Because they earn a lot to make the doctor rich. You know, the money they earn, para lang ibayad si doktor para sa sakit niya. Some of these, we call them people who are bound by their business. In Chinese, it says, Hosending Pakin. Gitali sa business niya. Dili ka balo mo experience joy sa iyang na-earn. So we call these people foolish. No? Now, this rich guy in the parable is not like that. He is the person who is contented. Oh my God, I have harvest. I have food for so many years. I need to eat and enjoy and be merry. Imagine, very wise. And yet he was still a fool before the Lord. You know why? Because he thought that his blessing was for himself. Exactly the thing that I told you a while ago. He thought that when God gave him so much wealth, it is the right for him to squander it for himself. And he might reason up, I have the right to squander it, I earned it, it was all my sweat that earned it. Excuse me, it was God's blessing. It was God who gave you that. Because there are people who sweat more and earn nothing. Now, since you have those wealth, what are you going to do with it? And the Lord required from this young rich man that he should have given it to the Lord's glory, for the Lord's ministry. That's why the Lord says, you are a fool, you are rich in this world, but you have nothing in the heavens. So what if I just called you? In other words, I'm going to take your life right now. Who is going to spend, who is going to enjoy all those money that you earn? The fact is, all these things that we have materially, we don't take it to heaven. We don't take it with us when we die. Job knew that principle. That's why he said, naked I come into this world, naked shall I depart from it. Huwag yung kayo madala sa tinod lang. So don't cling to that. However, there's a way. There's a way for your advantage. What the Lord has given you today, you can use it to invest for eternity. If you're a shrewd businessman, then you'll take that opportunity. Yeah? Why would I invest in something that will go away? I will invest in something that sure will. I knew of some people, including me, that I have very little money. So when I was looking for a bank, I'm looking at the interest rates. And then I realized that, I'm not advertising, normally I'm not experience. I realized that GCash actually GSave. Okay? And so GSave is giving people last year 3% interest rate per annum. I-decline na ako interest rate 3%. So good to be true. No? Kasi normal bank 1%, 0.1, 0.5, na lang. 3%. Yung 3% muna na siya time deposit. Hindi ako ba ang time deposit? 2.7% pa lang. Yeah, 3%. Yeah, so gitry na ako. You know, good na 3%, so that's good. So, I channel some of my money into the GCash. Investment. Diba? And this year, around siya 4.1 na lang ang percentage. Ooh. I just moved because I don't have more money to invest. Ito, na-invest na ako more ito. Okay. And it was not really big, it was 2,000 pesos. Actually. Anyway, but the thing is this. We want to invest, we want to see the ROI, return of investment. Okay? However, in this world, the ROI that is given to you, initially when you start the investment is there, pero not necessarily unless nga naamoy contract na steady lang na siya, not necessarily na after maturity, nakuha mo the same rate. Sometimes it's lower, sometimes depende sa pagkakon. But what if the ROI is grabe? Diba? And eternal value, then you go for it. Diba? Why would you not go for it? Here is the Lord of Lords telling each one of us that He has an investment plan for each one of us. Then He's giving you the capital, the blessings. And then He's asking you, hey, are you willing to invest that one that I gave you to this investment plan that I'm offering you with eternal value? Would you invest? And a lot of people are still afraid. Kuha nila ang fund, blessing, they want to do it their own way. Siguro, gusto nila after the end, when they meet the Lord, they will say, I did it my way. And the Lord says, you fool. Brothers and sisters in Christ, don't fix your eyes on temporal things. Fix your eyes on eternal value. And as Christians, we have everything. The Lord has provided blessings to each one of us. Use that blessing and invest in eternal values. And the Bible tells us the way to do that is to seek the kingdom of God and pour out that blessing into the works of the Lord. If you have a lot of material wealth, probably the Lord expect you to give more to Him for His ministry. If you have the ability, the blessing of ability, probably the Lord wants you to use that ability to serve Him more. If you say you have nothing, then you are the best candidate that the Lord wants for full-time ministry. Hey, God, look. You know that? Because I have nothing. And the Lord gave me a very gracious opportunity to serve Him. You know the best thing is you have nothing. Because when you have nothing, you depend on Him. And that's a time when He does great things through you. Unless the cup is empty, you cannot pour much water into it. Kung puno kayo na, yun ba? You want to live a full life? Use those blessings, invest it for eternal value, and you have a full life. Not just a full life here on this world, but when you meet the Lord, wow, you'll just be surprised how much reward that He's going to give you. Or you can just be a fool, you know. Take what you have right now, enjoy it, eat, drink, be merry, whatever you want to do, fine. When you meet the Lord will say, "Kaluoy you don't. You're a fool. You might be rich in this world, but you have nothing here. You might live like a prince in this world, But in heaven, publika. Here in earth, I would rather be pobre, basta sa langit, prinsipe. Tama ba? How would you like that? In this world, the most 100 years, blessed na tayo. Well, people always say that. For me, I don't think that's a blessing. Because it's more endurance and suffering and things like that in this world. I like to go home as soon as possible. But before I go home, I want to do as much as possible. So when I go home, I get home. Diba? So may God bless us through His Word. God bless you all. Let's pray. Father, we thank you for your grace. We thank you for your word. We ask, Lord, that you continue to speak to us and help us understand where is more valuable. This world or eternity. We continue to pray, Lord, that you speak and stir the hearts of people that you want them to take action and obey you. Yes, all these things in Jesus' name.